This is a Fox 10 News Storm Tracker update.
Hey folks, I'm meteorologist Matt Barrington. We are looking at a rapidly devolving situation here with Hurricane Ida. In other words, this thing is falling apart, but it's doing something that we don't really want to see as it does so. It's really throwing the main convection way out ahead of the system. So the center of circulation is down back here, but now all the main cloud tops and the main storms are well out ahead of it. That means this is going to come in a lot earlier. This is going to be a Monday event. The main rain bands will be here within just a few hours. So if you're trying to make preparations, you've got to do it now, folks, because this rain is not too far away at this point. And once it starts to rain, the winds will pick up. We'll start to get gusty winds. More good news here, though, since it is devolving, falling apart. Hurricane-force wind gusts are very unlikely. This is going to be a tropical storm-force wind event. So we're looking at a system that is dying. It is falling apart. It's being absorbed by some cold, dry air. See how there's no clouds here on the back end? Some dry air is feeding in to this storm right now, and that's helping to tear it apart and push out those clouds out ahead of it. So what we're looking at is a system that as it moves north is really, really weakening. So that's good news. Like I said, though, the bad news is that as it weakens, it's pushing the main rain bands well out ahead of it, so they'll get here a lot earlier than what we were expecting. So that means you're really going to have to get prepared here over the next hour or two. Then after that, things will start to go downhill. So here's Ida. You can see the actual center of circulation way down here. Right now, the main rain bands are way up here, well detached from the main system, sustained winds of 80 miles per hour, so it is still officially, anyway, a hurricane. That won't last too much longer. The water here is getting colder as it moves north, dropping into the 70s. As it goes over those waters, it will begin to weaken. The thing is, it is moving north-northwest at 16 miles an hour, so if it was moving slower, we could be really confident this thing would weaken a lot more, but since it's moving fairly quickly, it'll keep it from devolving too much more as far as those winds are concerned. We'll likely see this thing make landfall with winds of anywhere from 50 to 65 miles per hour. But we really don't want to focus on this landfall, because this landfall, the center of circulation, isn't what's going to be the main game in town. The main game in town is actually going to be the rain that is out ahead of all this. There's a lot of rain here on the storm tracker. I want to pass it over to meteorologist Chastity Bird, and she's going to talk about those rain bands that are just offshore. Chastity?
That's right, Matt. We are seeing the strongest winds offshore. Of course, we're going to go ahead and take a look at those buoys we have on the storm tracker. Let's go ahead and jump on the storm tracker, and we'll take a look at a few of these. We'll take a look towards Pensacola and see what the wind speed is right now. We're seeing winds around 7 miles per hour. Not much of a wind towards Pensacola right now at all. We'll take a look towards just south of Pascagoula, and you can see we're having winds around 26 miles per hour, so a little bit higher towards our Mississippi locations. And then we'll take one just south of Mobile Bay, and you can see around 17 miles per hour. And hey, we'll jump right out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and take a look at this buoy in the center of everything. And we're not getting a wind here, so we don't know what the winds are in the center there, but you can definitely see the strongest in winds is definitely offshore. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the rain here. Let me take off the buoys, and you can see some of the rain. There we go. Take a look. We'll zoom into the Mobile area, and you can see no rain inland. Now, if we take the storm tracker and zoom out towards the Gulf of Mexico, you can see the strongest in rain indicated by the oranges and the yellows just offshore. We see some making its way in towards the Gulf Shores area. I'll go ahead and put the loop on, and you can see moving towards Pensacola and Destin as well. So don't be surprised if you start to see some of these sprinkles, say, in the next hour or so. Definitely moving in, moving towards our areas, moving towards onshore. And once this rain gets here, we are definitely in for a soaking. Matt?
Well, thank you very much, Chastity. I want to go ahead and show some of the winds on land now. You can see that anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, so really not much wind going on just yet. We don't expect huge sustained winds here across our area. We don't expect to see much in the way of hurricane-force gusts. What we'll eventually see is we'll see these winds pick up to tropical storm strength, and then we'll get some higher gusts in the higher tropical storm range. So that's what's going to happen as we go later on into the day. Like I said, the situation is sped up because of the way this storm has fallen apart as it's moved north. Now all the main convection well out ahead of the center. The actual center of circulation lagging way behind, and a lot of dry air is being fed down into the system. So that is going to rapidly weaken this system here as we go through the day. So we're going to keep you updated on the storm, on Hurricane Ida throughout the day. top of every hour, at the bottom of every hour. We'll let you know exactly what's happening. Of course, you can keep up with us 24/7 as well at fox10tv.com. Please join us throughout the day for all your latest on Hurricane Ida.